welcome to HOA Fight Club. I'm Raylene Schifano. Today, I would like to discuss attorneys, HOA attorneys, and the oath that they take to be an attorney is one that I think that is being violated daily by these attorneys. And I kind of want to go over things. An attorney or a lawyer is supposed to be the foot soldiers of our Constitution. They should be making sure that everything is constitutional and that it's fair and equal and all the above. What I'm finding is that, well, what I've found in many years of this is that HOA and condo attorneys don't seem to have to follow the Constitution, which really, really bothers me. These are our first line of defense for these corporations. And if the attorneys can act unconstitutionally, well, then that's how we end up in these situations. Why are why are HOA attorneys above the Constitution? Why is their profession more important than a homeowner's rights? I look at the group CAI and what they offer. So far, they've only offered that they are going to foreclose non-judicially, that they don't have to follow the fair collection laws, that everything that they do for HOA is above everything. They use the fact that a board that is finding somebody that is in violation, that those board members don't have to follow the laws or the Constitution. When we sign into these HOAs and condos associations, are signing away our constitutional rights without even knowing it. Now, here's the kicker for me. So covenants, like the declaration and the bylaws, they run with the land. These are not contracts. These are covenants that run with the land. Now, there's a huge difference in that. Covenants that run with the land that's just the way it is. You have no negotiating powers. You have no contract law to help you if the board is violating those rules and regulations or the CC&Rs. So it's really unfair. If it was a contract for contract law, you would be able to say, okay, the board didn't do this, but the agreement said this, so I can sue them for the contract law, for the breach of contract. That's not how it works in HOA condo associations. And it's just really unfair that a homeowner that gets a $50 fine has to go to civil court to prove that they were fined. And there's just no way of taking it to civil court because you don't have any damages. So it just really limits homeowners, but it leaves boards can sue you for the breach of those same CC&Rs. So it's really complicated. The lawyers have made it this way. One thing I read that a lawyer shall not withhold evidence. Well, if they deny the records of the association, that's denying evidence. That's the withholding evidence. The records of the association are the property of the people, not the board, not the attorney, not the property manager. So anything that board does is really important because those documents are your documents. You have an equal right to those documents to see what the board's spending the money on and all of that kind of stuff. So when they withhold the records of the association, especially when you've requested them, that's a breach of that's a violation of their rules of professional conduct. Sorry. So everybody has these rules that they're supposed to follow. I think the thing for me with an attorney is if you are a true attorney that takes your oath very seriously, is you would do nothing to violate the Constitution or anybody's constitutional rights. So if you are fighting for laws, especially HOA and condo laws, and you're an attorney and you're legislating in behalf of attorneys to be able to avoid the fair collection laws or to even support HOA and condo laws, to be an attorney and legislate for that, you would have to be in violation of the rules of professional conduct and your ethics, because you cannot legislate for laws that take away people's constitutional rights and then be an attorney on the other side. It just isn't supposed to work that way. Attorneys should see deficiencies in the law and that these laws aren't working for the people. And instead of using those laws to profit from the people's demise, they should use those laws and say no more, that they won't enforce those laws. But this is how they make money. Attorneys make a ton of money when they can charge a homeowner. The attorney that defended my association for a $50 fine, the association spent, $28,000 in attorneys that year. That is so wrong. That is a mismanagement of the funds. They do have a reasonable duty to be reasonable, and all laws and rules and governance should be ethical. What I'm finding though is that these attorneys aren't ethical. They don't care about their ethics because they created uniform acts that are above the Constitution. How is any act, especially in Washington state, above the Constitution when in Washington state we can't sign away our constitutional rights? So as I fight for our rights this session, coming up in January, I will be able to testify again. You as homeowners can testify against boards and attorneys and property managers that are taking our rights. We need to stand up and say no more. I know in Washington state, we have taken some of the control, the power. We are waiting for our legislators to act in good faith, and the CAI people that have participated in legislation, they never give us any information. They never offer anything to the stakeholders group. They take whatever we offer and then they never offer anything on the other side. So I really have to say that if we're going to work together to create legislation for homeowners, that it shouldn't just be the attorneys going to our legislators and buying them off. I'm sorry, that's what you have to be doing. I don't offer any legislators any bonuses or gifts or anything. So, I'm not one of those lobbyists that is paying for their vote. I am the people. I am the people that they're supposed to be protecting. And we will show up this legislative session. And if our government legislators do not help us, then that's how we get to the point where we have to start voting people out that are in office. And we will make sure that those people are flagged, that deny the rights of Washington state citizens, their civil rights, their constitutional rights. We want to make sure that those are all defended. And if our legislators aren't going to defend them, then it'll be time for the people to take that into their own hands. We need to get rid of attorneys that violate their rules of professional conduct under the guise of it wasn't a true due process hearing. If you get fined for something, you deserve due process. That is Washington state's constitution says anything over $25, you deserve due process. You have the right to an attorney. You have the right to representation, and you have a right to demand that your legislators follow your lead in giving us those rights back. All right, you guys, I'll see you on the next one.